Hey y'all, Mrs. Blake here. This video is to teach you a lesson about mean, median, mode, and range. On a lot of our worksheets and stuff from here on out, I will just refer to those things as MMMR so that you guys know what that stands for. These are the notes for this video. They were attached to the post with the video, so you just need to print those out and have them handy if you're able. If not, take the notes on any sheet of paper that you can get your hands on. All right, let me share my screen with you from my Ladybug so that you can follow along with me. I'm gonna start up here at the top with mean, okay? Mean is just another word for average. You guys have some experience already with average. Let's talk about what this means. And you might wanna write that in this box, that another word for mean is average, okay? So to find the mean of a set of data, you add up all the numbers and then divide by the number of pieces of data. So that sounds a little confusing. Let me explain to you what that means while you finish copying. What that means is if you have 5 pieces of data or 5 numbers, you'll add them all up and divide by 5. If you have 8 pieces of data, you'll add them all together and divide by 8. 14 pieces of data, add them all up and divide by 14, okay? Now, important to note that this number could be a decimal, okay? So don't freak out if you get a decimal for this number. That is entirely possible, okay? So let's look at this data set that we have right here, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of data. So I would add all of these numbers up. So let me get my calculator handy here, get it cleared up, put them in, put this where you can see it, but where it's not in the way. Scooch this up a little bit. So 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 plus 11 plus 14 plus 15 plus 17 plus 18. I get 110, okay? So my sum, or when I added all the numbers together, I got 110. Now I'm gonna take 110 and I'm gonna divide it by 10, and that's because I have 10 pieces of data, okay? That gives me, if I were to put that in the calculator and work it out, 110 divided by 10 is 11. So 11 is the mean, okay? All right, let's go over here to median. Now, for median, the first thing you have to make sure is done, first, make sure that your numbers are in order from least to greatest. Sometimes, like this data right here, they're already in that order, and that's awesome. Then you don't have to do anything. But first, if they are not in order, the first thing you need to do is put numbers in order, least to greatest. Okay, that's job number 1. All right. Now, after doing that, finding your median is super simple. Your median, then, after they're in order, is the number in the middle. That's it. So just count in from each end till you get to the number in the middle. Median, middle. Think about a median that's in the road when mom or dad is driving, okay? The median is in the middle of the road. It separates the cars going one way from the cars going the other way. So in your set of data, your median is the number in the middle. Now, if you have an even number of pieces of data, you're gonna end up with 2 numbers in the middle, okay? Here's how we figure out the median in that case. If 2 numbers in the middle find the average or the mean of those 2 numbers, okay? So you're going to add them, just the 2 in the middle, add numbers, and then divide by 2. That will give you your median number. Now this is another one, we're gonna make a little note up here like we did last time. This is another one that could be a decimal. Don't freak out if you get a decimal answer. So let's look at our data that we have down here. Okay, 1 from each end, just kind of count together. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 9 and 11 in the middle. I don't just get to have a nice, easy number sitting there that I would write as my median. So here's what we would do. Because 9 and 11 are in the middle, we would do 9 plus 11, which equals 20. And then I would divide by 2 because I have 2 numbers here. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. So that 10 is my median. Okay. All right. Let's go down and talk mode. Mode is super simple, my friends. Mode is the number, and I'm going to put an S on the end of this in parentheses because you might have more than one. So the number or numbers that appears the most times. Not just your numbers that appear more than once, but the ones that appear the most. Mode, most. They sound similar, okay? So here we're going to make a note to ourselves. Could be more than one number, or it could be none. Maybe all of the numbers in your data just appear one time. Well, then you don't have a mode, okay? Let's look at our data that we have here. The only number I have that appears more than once is 8, so he would be my mode. He appears the most. So for this one, my mode is 8, okay? He appears the most number of times. All right. Okay, let's go over here to range and talk about what that means. Range, you're going to do a super simple subtraction problem to figure him out. After your data is in order, least to greatest, you're going to do your largest number minus smallest number. That's all there is to it. So you're going to do a subtraction problem. So let's look at the data we have up here. My largest is 18. My smallest is 4. Okay, so this is my largest number. This is my smallest number. And 18 minus 4 is 14. So 14 is my range. Super simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our lesson on mean, median, mode, and range. Feel free to watch the video as many times as you need. Feel free to print the notes out multiple times if you need to. It's totally up to you. Now make sure you go and complete the MMMR practice assignment, which is a Google form today. So work your way through the Google form, finding mean, median, mode, and range for each set of data. You're going to want to have a calculator handy for sure. And then make sure when you finish the Google form that you click submit so that it gets sent to me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via the 6th grade math Google chat. Adios, amigos.